Last November, Ohio voters, by a nearly 2-to-1 margin, passed ballot issue number 2 to create the Ohio Livestock Care Standards Board. Now, an out-of-state activist organization wants to undo what Ohio voters accomplished. We're going to learn more about what's happening by visiting with Keith Stimpert, Senior Vice President, Public Policy with the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation. Keith, background here real quickly. What did Issue 2 do? What's the Livestock Care Standards Board?
Well, essentially it's creating a board of knowledgeable Ohioans that will meet on a regular basis to think through what care standards need to be on our farms for livestock in the state of Ohio. So the program will be administered by the Ohio Department of Agriculture, but really an independent body with rulemaking authority to think through what we need to be doing in Ohio on care, livestock care.
And also, along with that, my take is that not just the animal care, but animal care in the context of what's good for people, for jobs, food safety as well.
Absolutely. In terms of looking at this issue, we've got a number of factors that we need to think about. Biosecurity, food safety, food availability, the economics behind all this, and even worker safety, if you will. So a number of factors, and I think that's the real value of this board, is the fact that we're putting together a comprehensive approach to look at livestock care.
Tell us where it is in the process. It was voted on in early November, but the board, things are going on to get the board in place now.
Exactly. We need to put forth some implementing legislation to do some of the details of how the board is going to operate, the length of terms, how folks are going to be appointed, the relationship between the board and the Ohio Department of Agriculture and different authorities. The bill was introduced, House Bill 414 is the vehicle, and that was introduced in February and has had a number of hearings in the Ohio House, and we're looking forward to its action, and we're looking forward to discussion in the Senate. So a lot of folks coming forward to give their thoughts on how best to set this board up. And indeed, hopefully very quickly, we will have legislation that gets us up and going.
Now, the public right now submitting names to the governor, Speaker of the House, President of the Senate for the makeup of this 13-member board.
Right. The governor essentially will be appointing 10 folks. A couple of them are existing with the Director of Agriculture and the state veterinarian. And then the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate each are allowed to appoint a family farmer. So that'll be coming forward, and I know a lot of interest is out there, and folks have been putting their applications in with the governor's office.
This was just a couple of months ago that Ohio voters spoke overwhelmingly they wanted this. Now, the Humane Society of the United States has announced plans to launch a petition gathering program, paid petition gatherers in the most part, to, in my view, undo what the citizens of Ohio voted on. Tell us more about what these out-of-state activists have in mind.
Well, this is very similar to other activity that they've been about in Florida, Arizona, and California. And here they come bringing specific details of what standards they see from their perspective need to be adopted. That's very, very counter to what we're trying to do with this board, where we're trying to bring together knowledgeable Ohioans to think through the process in a very comprehensive way. You know, I think folks need to kind of consider what's really going on here, really look at the Humane Society of the United States, what they're about, what they're trying to achieve. No one's turning their back on livestock care. We're establishing a board, and in fact, I think Ohio has the opportunity to be a national leader in the area of livestock care by way of this particular board that we're establishing. The Humane Society of the United States should really take its concerns and bring them to this board once we have it up and going.
You mentioned understand the Humane Society of the U.S. First of all, it's a national organization, activists out of Washington, not affiliated with the local humane shelters who are actually doing good in their communities. We have some views on what their big picture agenda is.
Well, I think certainly they don't have the best interests of Ohio farmers, and we don't think they have the best interest of Ohio consumers at heart. When you look at it, when you study their website, when you read about what they're trying to achieve in addressing the role of animals in society, I think ultimately consumer choice at the dinner table is at risk. And in fact, challenging whether meat, milk, and eggs should be there.
We would suggest that if someone comes knocking on your door, if someone asks for a donation to the Humane Society of the United States, consider some of the points made here today. Study up on the issue. Don't just give, don't just sign based on a gut reaction. Look into this issue, learn more about the Humane Society of the United States, what their goals and intent are, and what the implications would be should they be successful at changing what you Ohio voters accomplished last November.